Hello there and welcome to another video from Dean Park Station. In this video I'm going to show you my DCC control unit, and hopefully I'm going to be able to control these two locomotives. The unit that I've got is the Hornby Elite, £169 from Hatton's. If you go to the Hornby website it'll cost you £220-ish, which takes it into lens controller territory, and it starts to look a bit pricey at that. As a unit, it's overall a success. It's good. The reason I bought this one over a lens is because, one, I'm new to DCC and I wanted something pretty straightforward, and Hornby is provided that in the Elite. And two, it's also providing Railmaster, which is a way of connecting your locos to the PC. I saw this at Model Rail Scotland a couple of years ago and I thought that sounds promising, so this is why I have opted for the Hornby unit, because it talks to that software perfectly, or so they tell me. Before I go any further, I did a video yesterday on DCC starter pack from Express Models. What I failed to point out is you also get this crimping tool and wire cutters and strippers, etc., which is great because I never had one, and that's all included in the price of £29 or something, so it's not a bad pack to get you started. It's not a lot of kit. I also forgot to mention another piece of vital equipment if you've got a loft layout at this time of the year, especially when the snow falling on the roof this morning, is fingerless gloves. One of my wife's Christmas presents to me. Hopefully that will hold back the frostbite. As you can see on my display here, it tells me how long the machine's been on. This disappointingly sets back to 0 when you lose power or switch it off, and if you set the clock also goes back to 0 when you switch it off. And considering Hornby tell you in their manual to always switch it off when you're finished, that means you'd have to set the clock every time, which I find a bit pointless. If I'm maybe missing a trick here, guys, and you've got one of these units and you can resolve this little issue, please drop me a message, because maybe I'm just not reading the instructions correctly. It's got an emergency stop button. If you see two locos in trouble or heading for a collision or a loco off the rails, press that, it cuts the power to the entire unit, and that's easily reversed by just pressing escape here. There is an on-off button which doesn't do anything, I don't know why they put it there. A function button for your lights, directional lights, and if you've got locomotives with sound. Your menu to do all sorts of things. You can double head locos, which I tried this morning unsuccessfully. You can change the acceleration, deceleration rates, change the addresses. If you really want to be spending a whole day reading this and trying to memorise it, then good luck to you. I'm kind of one of these guys who potters about using the unit, and then if it doesn't work I refer to the manual. I mean, who reads instructions after all? The loco button here, you select your loco with, and like ACC there, I've not really come across that too much yet. You can also select your locos using the keypad. These buttons are something a bit temperamental. You press a button and it'll read another button. I press one sometimes and it comes up with function 12. Don't quite understand that. Another key piece of kit, for me anyway, is a loco sheet showing which loco address is which. Number 3 is always set to default on your decoders and on this DCC machine. So at the moment I wanted to control, if I press number 1 button there, I'm controlling loco 5 with that. If I press number 2, I'm controlling loco 2 with that. I can change this and add in more locos. I can control several locos at once, but it does allow that function, but it does get a wee bit complicated. Again, I'm just new to this. So at the moment I've got loco 2 here, and that's on controller in the dial number 2, and it's not got any lights etc on. So to put lights on, you function, and it's 0 for lighting according to the manual and the chip, and you press it, and it shows now that loco 2 has got function 0 on. Now hopefully if I've done that right, the lights should be on, and if I change direction, there's the tail lights have come on. So I have done something right this morning. Well done. Now I go to loco 5, it's got its lights on already, what I'm going to do is function 1 is the cab lights, which the Helljan's not got, the Class 47 has. So I'm going to function 1, press the button, and I don't know if you could see that, the cab lights have come on. To get the loco moving, you turn the dial obviously. Now my issue with the Hornby unit, change direction, press it, see the arrows change. My issue with the Hornby unit is the dial, the movement of the dial doesn't always be in tune with the acceleration of the loco. You know, if you turn the dial maybe 180 degrees and it goes nowhere, and you turn it another 180 degrees and it shoots off at top speed. These little black dial things don't always, you know, I'm turning it, and there's another one, turn it a wee bit more, there's another one. I suppose it's all down to the acceleration you've set. So anyway, the Queen Mother is on its way round, and I'll press the other button, and that's the Class 26, will go on its merry way. I've set the acceleration rates relatively quick. It's not as realistic as it will be when I get the layout up and running. So there we have it, the Hornby unit. I'll take these up to full speed just to show you. Turn the dial so it goes all the way up to full speed, and the 47 will be coming towards us now. On the track. It's quite cold up here today, so I'm assuming these locos need a wee bit of time to heat up. This Helljan's a terrific little runner, quite rapid actually. For such a small loco, it's a good performer. So there we have it, the Hornby Elite. Good value for money if you don't buy it direct from Hornby. Simplistic to use. You can go into depth with the manual and really do some fancy things, I'm sure. I've not got to that stage yet, but what lets it down is the corresponding movement of these dials. It's a small point, right enough. It's not going to make it a deal breaker, and it's all very handy for turning the functions off. Quite simple. It's press, 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 and you can turn the functions, lights, cab lighting, sound, etc. Off pretty quickly. Hope you find that useful. I would recommend this unit. I'm sure there are better ones on the market, in fact I know there are, but for the price you can't really grumble. Any questions, just feel free to get in touch, and thanks for all the comments on my other videos so far.